Well, we've stepped out of the TV studio and we're into the kitchen, and joining us is Chef Jeremy Reinicke with the HealthEast Waste Wellness. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely, thank you for being
And
here.
we're literally right on the Woodbury's Health Campus. The hospital is just across the parking lot. Tell us about this unique, having a kitchen, well-being classes right here on the health campus.
Yeah, this is really unique actually. Our mission here at the kitchen table is to help folks do more cooking at home, using more whole fresh foods, and kind of eliminating or even just reducing. We believe in baby steps, right? Even just reducing those convenience-based foods full of the fake stuff, right? The fake colors, all that kind of stuff.
It's amazing too, the processed foods, how much salt and sodium and sugar that you wouldn't even think things would have sugar in them, and they do. Yeah.
Yep, people don't even realize how much is in those processed foods and those convenience-based foods. So we're all about cooking whole fresh foods.
This looks delicious. So what are we cooking here?
Thank you. So we're gonna make today, this is really simple, and that's also kind of part of our mission here, is we keep it simple. We use a few ingredients. We don't want to use anything that's really difficult to find, right? We use simple methods. So we're going to make a sautéed salmon with some fennel, and then we're going to dress it with some tarragon, which is right here if you're unfamiliar, and some capers, and then some orange juice and a little olive oil. And that's it. Well, some greens, of course.
Wow, this looks great. So let's get going.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So it's really important, you guys, to preheat your pan, and I've had this one preheating, so we're good to go. We're going to use a very neutral oil here, as opposed to your olive oil. You want to avoid using those deep, dark oils for the high heat techniques, because they may burn on you. So you want to use these that are light and kind of see-through almost.
So what kind of oil is that?
So this is a canola, and we now know that, of course, canola oil has some omega-3s in it, which kind of aligns it with an olive oil. So it really just makes sense whenever you're sautéing anything to use that canola oil. Again, that olive oil can burn on you and make your food bitter, and we don't want to do that.
So when would you use the olive oil? Not for the cooking part, or when you're using really hot temperatures?
Correct. So you may very gently sauté or sweat something in olive oil, but be very cautious with your heat. Or just dress it. We're going to dress our greens with this beautiful olive oil.
I love the flavor of olive oil.
Yes, absolutely. And if you don't add heat to it, it doesn't lose or break down any of its flavors. So that's really important as well.
All right.
So we've got our oil in here, and I always add kind of just enough to lightly coat the bottom of our pan. So we're going to go ahead and place our fish in here. We have some beautiful salmon.
It looks awesome.
Yes.
So did it come that way, or did you have it prepared?
I bought a side of salmon.
Okay.
And then I broke it down into the portions. Yeah. You could take the skin off. You could leave it on. That's really kind of up to you.
And that's about the size that you would say is a portion that we should be eating, about like the size of a...
Yep. Like a deck of cards, they say.
Cards, okay.
Yeah, is a good portion. So for our veggies, we have our fennel here, and if you're unfamiliar with fennel, some folks kind of think it looks like dill, right?
You're
but
right.
It's not dill. It tastes nothing like dill. So we're going to use the bulb here, but we're also going to use the greens for garnish. Okay? So it's a good idea to use the whole part of the plant if you can.
And that is the secret, the seasoning of whatever you're preparing.
Absolutely. Yep. Seasoning it properly, flavoring it properly. Healthy food does not have to be boring or bland. I know, right? It's earth-shattering, isn't it?
We want it to be delicious.
Yes, absolutely, and it can be. It absolutely can be. So we're just kind of slicing thinly our fennel here, and then this is going to go right into the same pan here as well, right?
Okay.
I mean, that just kind of makes sense, doesn't it? We'll have an exchange of flavor, and then we have one less dirty dish too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, right? So this is
I like to clean as I'm going.
Absolutely, that's really important too. So this is just going to kind of go in and go around our salmon here, just like this. You do want to control your heat a little bit. Don't get it too hot if it's popping and cracking at you. Turn it down a little bit, but you do want to maintain that nice little sizzle.
And you keep it open, not covered.
Yep, don't cover it, because we're actually going to caramelize or lightly brown that fennel. And if you cover it, that won't happen nearly as well.
Right.
Okay?
I still remember my earlier cooking, and I'd be calling my mom, okay, now do I put the cover on, or do I keep it off, or how long do I simmer it?
Absolutely. People don't realize that it really does make a difference, whether it's covered or not. So that's working away really nicely here. We're going to go ahead, and I just washed this, so this is a little damp, but we're going to trim and chop up just a little bit of our fennel fronds for a garnish. So just like that. And again, that's just going to be a nice little garnish to go on top. So we don't need a ton of it. And that will dry out too. If you just wash your fennel, for example, and then it's a little wet, just let it sit out like this for a few minutes and it'll dry out for you.
Okay.
Okay, looking good. This is looking good. You can kind of see we have a little color starting around that salmon there, which is what we want. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dress our greens real quick. We're making the vinaigrette right in the bowl, okay? No need to make a whole bunch and then sit on it in your refrigerator forever or even end up throwing it away. So there's our greens. We're gonna toss in our tarragon. And again, I just chopped our tarragon, and that's this guy right here. Yeah, beautiful, isn't it? Tarragon.
I don't have smell on it.
Yeah, I know. Tarragon actually has a similar flavor profile to fennel. So it's a really nice, like it makes sense for these two things to go together. Yeah. And then we're gonna take a little chopped caper here. So these are caper berries. They're actually, if you look super, super closely, they're actually like little flowers, kind of. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So that's going to go on. It's going to bring a nice little kind of brininess to our salad here. And we're going to dress it with the acidity here that we're using is going to be orange juice, right?
Really?
Yep. You can make a vinaigrette with citrus juice, okay? So we're going to squeeze. That one wasn't super juicy, so we're going to squeeze one more. If you have a really nice juicy one, you may only need one. But we just want enough to kind of lightly coat our greens there. And then we're going to toss that with a little extra virgin olive oil. Now we're using that extra virgin olive oil, right? Ooh, can you smell that orange too? We're going to take a peek at our fish here real quick.
So when you're checking for this, what are you looking for?
So for this, at this step right here, I'm really just looking for a little bit of color, a little bit of brown. And we have a little bit.
Oh, wow,
see.
that looks good.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice little browning there. I think we're actually going to flip it. You could let it go a little bit longer. It's really up to you on the amount of color that you like. And you can see that fennel, too, is starting to brown here as well.
But keep moving it so it doesn't burn.
Just move it around a little bit, yeah, so that the rest, like this part of the fennel, maybe that can get some contact with the bottom of the pan. And then that'll brown as well. Beautiful. Now we can start to smell the fennel, too. So we're just going to take a little drizzle of olive oil on our greens there. And we're going to toss with a little salt. Now, whenever you're dressing a salad or greens, whether you made the vinaigrette or bought it even in advance, or you're making it right like this in the bowl, you never want to add so much stuff, right, juice or oil, so that there's a pool in the bottom of the bowl.
Right. I mean, I'm so used to when I do go out to eat, I have it always on the side because I don't know how much they're going to put in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're at a really reputable restaurant, like you should be able, they'll know that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you just don't know sometimes what's going to come out. So this looks really good here, actually. Okay. You can see we got just a nice little sheen or shine on there. Bottom of the bowl is clear.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, right? Super fast. And then, of course, it's really important, right, to taste your food. Taste it as you go. I'm going to take a little bit. Super nice.
Needs more.
I'm actually going to squeeze one more orange in here. Yeah.
And I think the salt that you use is, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I use kosher salt. It's kind of the standard for a lot of chefs and restaurants. It just, from a functional standpoint, it works really well. Iodized salt is little kind of bouncy balls.
Those oranges.
I know. Little bouncy balls, and they kind of just bounce off your food. Kosher salt is very rigid, and it sticks to your food very well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
All right, there's our greens. Take a peek quickly at our salmon, and I'm thinking we're done. You'll see a little bit of that there, right? That's kind of some of the fat coming out, but it's good fat in the salmon, right? The omega-3s are in there. And then if you want to check it for doneness, I always just kind of flake it apart a little bit. Just pull it apart slightly like that, and if it looks done, you're in good shape.
And done means?
Done means no more of that bright pink in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. So there is that. We're gonna plate super fast.
We're getting into our couple of final minutes of this segment. Yeah. So you teach classes here?
We do, yep.
Right at the kitchen.
Right here, yep.
And
we teach group cooking classes, which all have an element of hands-on. Some are a little bit more intensely hands-on, like our knife skills class. You get to come in, I do a demo for you, and then you actually do the production.
Yeah, and I've admitted that I've taken these classes before, and I love them.
Has it helped?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Even just how to hold the knife, right?
Well, and using the chef's knife,
Yeah.
as opposed to using my little paring knife.
Right, the right tool is very
Right.
important. So we've got our greens here. I'm just gonna do salmon right on top like that.
Oh, awesome.
And then we're gonna do some fennel. Just right on top of that fish.
Wow, that just looks beautiful.
Doesn't it?
And it smells incredible.
And then, what do we do? Our fennel. Fennel fronds.
And you just kind of sprinkle that on
Yep, just a
there
little
then.
sprinkle to kind of green up the fennel bulb.
Wow.
That's it.
And
Super
how
simple,
much time
right?
to prep all this then too? It didn't seem to take that long.
No, previously I did probably 5 minutes worth of prep.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So it's pretty simple, easy, quick, right? That's what people love. We don't want to spend hours and hours in the kitchen, or most people don't.
So if someone's interested in taking your classes, how do they go about doing
Yeah.
that?
So in the back, you can go to HealthEast/Ways to Wellness.
All right.
Yeah.
Chef Jeremy, thank you for being with us again. It's been awesome.
Absolutely.
And inviting us into your kitchen.
Yes.
So really,
Thank you for being here.
it's been great. Thank
All right.
you.